Our story began 11 years ago. Life was tough, as it is for all young artists. But, like the beginning of many stories, there was a kind of beauty in it. 又一新浪潮導演處女作亮相，胡桃雖然底子極佳，但由於大膽創新過度，導致內容詭異顛覆。即使業內有讚，但大眾實在難以欣賞，最終票房慘淡收場，實屬糊塗。咁我仲有咩好講啊？冇 taste 就係冇 taste。OK， 要叫好又叫座，有時係要妥協嘅。但係問題係我一向最唔擅長，亦都最唔中意妥協咯。
Nora？ 係咪 Nora？ 估唔到會咁啱喺度見到你，好耐冇見，見返你真係好開心啊！
你係 Teresa？ 你點解喺度嘅？你幾時返香港㗎？ Teresa, or as you know her by 何日君, was a dear friend of mine, the scriptwriter of Detective CO7 and the creator of the cursed film Reunion of the Three Swallows. This is a pretty good script. Interesting. Teresa and I met while we were studying abroad at the Film Academy. We took the same scriptwriting class. We didn't talk much at first. She always sat in the corner on her own. I only got to know her after our teacher showed a script to the class as an example of excellent work. The writer's name, Teresa. Her stories could strike a balance between the details and the big picture. They were engaging, light-hearted, and warm. So, in that moment, when we met again at the restaurant, I realized she was the one I'd been looking for. At that time, she was an editor at a small press. I invited her to join my studio, and 3 months later, she put the first edition of Detective CO7 on my table.
所以你覺得點啊？你覺得邊度唔夠好嘅話，我都可以改㗎。
我諗緊主角要揀邊個？哦，你個劇本寫得好好，比我想象中仲要好。我哋就用你個劇本。So we had the script, but we couldn't decide who would play the heroine. We held endless auditions, even considered some famous actresses, but none of them fit. Until that night.
頭先嗰幾個你覺得點啊？我覺得最後嗰個好似都 OK。
唔得，佢唔夠 sharp。你都睇得出㗎。既然睇得出，就唔好焗住自己揀。我唔想將就。
但係，萬一現實生活裏面根本唔存在呢個完全符合我哋想象嘅完美人選呢？萬一佢只係我哋諗出嚟嘅，咁點算啊？
咁我就會一直揾，直到喺現實世界揾到為止。
哎呀！你喐手腳做咩啊？
我就係喐手喐腳啊！點啊？死鹹豬手！呢度唔歡迎你哋啊 仲唔快啲啦？
你睇住嚟啊！我唔會放過你噶。哎呀，大鑊啦！今次嗰兩個古惑仔附近出晒名，佢哋肯定會翻嚟報仇噶。我知你睇唔慣佢哋對個靚女鹹豬手，但係人哋都唔出聲啦，你嬲咩啫？你咁搞法之後，我點做生意啊？唉，今鋪真係俾你累死啊，阿星！
得啦，事頭，我走，佢哋再嚟就叫佢哋嚟搵我。嗱，鋪頭鎖匙啊，你記得早啲嚟開門啊，唔係啲熟客等到戇居居。
阿星，你，哎呀！
睇嚟你啱啱失業喎。
邊位啊？關你咩事啊？
我有份工介紹俾你，你對做戲有冇興趣啊？Ah-sing was surprised when I made the offer. She said she needed to think about it, so Teresa gave her a copy of the script. The next day, she knocked on our door and took the offer. Later, we learned that Ah-sing was born into a poor family. Her father was in prison, and her mother had mental issues. She'd been the breadwinner for the family since she was a kid. Her father's reputation would often get her into trouble, so usually she was either on the way to a job or to a fight. The CO7 you saw always had a confident smile on her face, but in actual fact, Ah-sing almost never smiled at the beginning. An actor should learn to commit to the moment in front of the camera and come back to reality behind it. But Ah-sing didn't. She didn't come back to reality. She's never once stopped playing the role of CO7 since then. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She started to smile the way CO7 smiled. She went from brash and reckless to sly and methodical, just like CO7. The deputy chief and the BAU made a mistake. Ah-sing has not confused herself with her character. After all these years in the movie industry, I've seen a lot of actors get carried away by the glitz and glamour of their characters. But Ah-sing is different. She values CO7 even more than herself. So much so that, ultimately, it eclipsed her own consciousness. Miss Liang, you asked me which rumors about CO7 and the three of us were true. Now I can give you an answer. Most of them were.
Is this?
We drew a lot of attention after the release of CO7. Put a magnifying glass up to anyone, and you'll always find imperfections. We were no exception. Ah-sing was as stubborn and uncompromising as I was. When we disagreed, it would blow up into a huge argument, neither one of us giving in to the other. Poor Teresa was always caught in the middle. I was too young, too bullheaded, to realize the consequences that this might cause. I tore a path forward, often ignoring the people around me. Teresa, on the other hand, was kind-hearted, perhaps too much so. She never got angry, no matter what people said. She just bottled it up inside and let it eat away at her. She didn't like taking photos. She was self-conscious about her appearance, so we only have a few together. This one was taken when we were shooting CO7 too. We were so close back then. Of course, we knew we'd have to part ways eventually, but we didn't concern ourselves with that. Even then, our shortcomings had started to hurt our relationship. But by the time we realized it, the damage had been done.
唔得，呢個結局太離譜啦！司令真唔會咁做㗎。
When we were making CO7-3, Ah-sing was up in arms about the ending. In the sequence, CO7 tracks a criminal through a Shehua parade, hoping to finish him off herself. But when she finds him sitting at home with his family, she changes her mind. Ah-sing didn't like it. She said that CO7 would punish the villain for what he's done, that she would never change her mind. We had countless arguments over this ending, and of course, we never reached a conclusion.
得啦得啦，到此為止。我哋咁嘈落去都冇意義。我有個提議。
So I cheated. Were I in the same position now, I'd solve the problem more delicately. But I was a jerk back then. The only thing that mattered was the movie. I couldn't care less about what people thought, including my heroine. I asked Teresa to write an alternative ending and told Ah-sing that we'd shoot both endings and pick the better one together. She agreed.
But you didn't keep your word. You released the movie with the original ending.
It turned out to be very popular, but Ah-sing saw it as a betrayal. At the premiere, she announced she was quitting the new art company that the three of us had founded together. I didn't stop her. Teresa tried to mend our relationship, like she always did.
我寫咗個新劇本，唔係407續作，係全新嘅故仔啊！如果你哋覺得有意思嘅話，我哋下一部戲可以拍佢啊！我自己拍咗部片花，雖然好簡單，可能拍得唔係幾好，但係可以嘅話，我哋一齊睇啊！
It was her proof of concept for a reunion of the Three Swallows. I knew Teresa had always wanted to put an end to the CO7 series and write something she was really passionate about. Perhaps she thought a new story would help Ah-sing move away from CO7 and become herself again. Unfortunately, when she came to show us the script, Ah-sing and I were in the middle of a fight.
唔使啦，我唔會再同你哋拍戲。
阿星，等陣啊
Ah-sing had always been kind to Teresa, but on that day, she pushed her out of the doorway and stormed off. Well, as I said, I was a jerk. I flipped through her script, and a flurry of harsh words left my mouth.
點解仲係上次嗰個類型㗎？我咪講咗咯，呢種故事唔啱你寫啊！
In the end, neither Ah-sing nor I cared enough to watch Teresa's sizzle reel, even though she tried so hard to present it to us. That was the last time we saw Teresa.
That fire.
Yes, That's why I'd pay any price to get that film. Her script was burned to ashes in the fire. I need to know what story she was trying to tell. I suppose Ah-Sing feels the same. This is what you wanted to see last time you and your officer friend visited me.
You mean the threatening letter?
It's not a letter, actually.
It's the script of Detective 071.
The original. The one Teresa handed to Ah-Sing all those years ago.
Is this a poster of the Shehua parade? Oh, right. It's almost time for the Dushuo festival. With everything going on these days, I almost forgot. Wait, is Miss Qixin going to...
Your guess is as good as mine.